All right, what's good? Welcome back. It's Sam Gaines. And no joke, I almost didn't make a video today because I've been stuck in the most dangerous rabbit hole known to man, deciding what optic I'm going to run on my 6th gen Glock. Like, I'm sitting there telling myself, yeah bro, I'll record in 5 minutes. Meanwhile, it's been an hour and I'm still comparing dot sizes like it's a life decision. Because obviously the future of Western civilization depends on whether I go closed emitter or not. So before we get into today's topic, I need crowd wisdom. When I pick up the Glock, do I keep it clean and stock, or do I send it out and get it Cerakoted? Drop your takes in the comments. Colors, patterns, or if I should just stop overthinking everything and touch grass. Now that my priorities are absolutely in order, let's get into it. Like, subscribe, and let's roll. Alright, so Donald Trump comes out and says he's going to pull federal funding from sanctuary cities. Straight up, says they're breeding crime and violence. And honestly, I gotta say this from jump. Yeah, I'm from Los Angeles. I grew up there. I lived it. I didn't read about it. I didn't watch it on cable news. I watched it out my window. And when people online clutch their pearls and act shocked like this is some radical statement, I'm sitting here like, no, this is just reality finally being said out loud. Los Angeles is a mess. It's been a mess for a long time, and everybody who grew up there knows it. I saw Glenn Greenwald post about how Republicans used to say the federal government shouldn't step into cities and states, how it was all about small government and local control. And yeah, that used to be the argument, and I get it. But here's the thing nobody wants to say. Democrats used to oppose illegal immigration too. They used to talk about borders. They used to talk about enforcement. Now look at them. Everyone changed. Everyone evolved, or devolved, depending how you see it. The truth is, my worldview didn't come from think tanks or podcasts. It came from growing up in a city run top to bottom by Democrats where corruption wasn't a theory, it was just the air you breathed. The police leadership, the political machines, the gangs running free, the crime getting worse, and now these sanctuary policies that protect everyone except the people actually living there. So yeah, when I was younger, Republicans were the bad guys to me. But let's not rewrite history. Republicans weren't showing up either. They talked small government while my neighborhood fell apart. Democrats ran the city and beat us down with incompetence and corruption. So I grew up with what felt like an absent father Republican Party and an abusive Democrat machine mother. By the time I got older, I didn't trust either side. I voted for Obama because of hope and change, like a lot of people did. Thought maybe something different would happen. It didn't. Then 2012 came around and I was like, yeah, no, I'm done buying slogans. Didn't vote. By 2016, I said, I'm definitely not falling for this again. Obama turned out to be a liar, bombing kids overseas, all the pretty words masking the same garbage. Then Trump shows up. Trump versus Hillary. And I'm skeptical. But here's what changed. Stuff actually started shifting. Middle Eastern wars getting questioned. Weird ideological garbage getting pushed out of government. And look, I grew up in a secular urban environment. We didn't want religious weirdness in government, and I don't want woke religion there either. It's the same thing with different costumes. I still don't like the Republican Party. I never have. In 2020, I backed Tulsi Gabbard and Andrew Yang. I max donated to them. I've donated more to Democrats than Republicans combined, even now. So spare me the cult accusations. What I see now is Trump saying, we're sending federal law enforcement into Los Angeles. We're cutting funding to sanctuary cities that refuse to enforce the law. And people freak out. Mediaite writes this whole dramatic piece about Trump calling sanctuary cities corrupt criminal protection centers. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, that's what they are. If you're shielding criminals and refusing to cooperate with federal law, what else do you call it? Trump says starting February 1st, no more federal payments to these cities. If they want them, they can pay for them themselves. Make America great again. Simple. Then liberals come in with the talking point. Blue states pay more into the federal government than they get back. Okay, and? That doesn't mean anything. That just proves the problem. The federal government takes money from individuals, not states. It gives some of it back and calls it a surplus. I call it taxation and redistribution. You can argue for taxes all day. That's not the point. The point is who gets the money and what it's being used for. And right now, it's being used to fund corruption and lawlessness. The DOJ lists out the sanctuary jurisdictions: New York, LA, Boston, Philly, San Francisco, Seattle, and suddenly everyone acts surprised, like these cities aren't struggling with crime and dysfunction. Then Trump talks about Minnesota, about criminals being protected, about ICE trying to remove dangerous people, and people lose their minds. But every time DHS, ICE, or the National Guard goes into these areas, crime drops. That's just fact. I asked my friends back home, guys I grew up with in gang territory. I asked them straight up, would you rather have the gangs running things like when we were kids, or National Guard and federal agents on the street? They laughed. They said, we'll take any cops. Federal, local, doesn't matter. The funny part? Federal cops don't even hassle you the way local ones do. They're there for bigger problems. Honestly, the only downside is maybe life gets too safe and people get soft. I'm half joking, but you get the idea. Here's what really bugs me though. Liberals are wrong about Trump literally 100% of the time. Trump could take out the leader of ISIS and they'd call him a scholar. There's zero nuance, and that's not sane. Trump lies. Trump screws up. But if you're lying about him every single day, you're not trying to fix the country. Then there's the Greenland thing. Trump wants to buy Greenland. For security, for trade routes, for Arctic control as ice melts. And Democrats lose it. Why? It's not violent. It's not fascist. It's a deal. Pay Denmark. Pay Greenland. Everybody wins. We already control Panama for the same reason. But Trump suggests it and suddenly it's evil. Make it make sense. This is what it always comes back to. Trump says we're not funding sanctuary cities breaking the law. They scream. Trump says we'll spend money securing America's future. They scream. No matter what he does, it's wrong. And honestly, I'm done pretending that's rational. Enforce the law. Spend money on things that actually help the country. Stop pretending chaos is compassion. Smash the like button if you are bummed that the new Gen 6s do not come in God's caliber 45 ACP. Subscribe if you're sick of the fake outrage and if you want to bully me over my pew-pew choices. Hang in there, everyone. Trump will quell this liberal madness.